All right. Everybody, real quickly, hit the like button, share, subscribe. All right, let's hit the like button. That's it. Chinye says, "This is us, the inner caucus." Yes, sir. We are the chosen. Welcome. Hit the like button. Now let's get into it. There's a story here. I think Uncle Beno posted this in the backstage. So let's talk about it. Okay.
He doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about.
I'm gonna refresh it so we can get it from the beginning. There you go. Let's see.
Want is not interested in your money. The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not what's going to raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women. And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5? After 5 p.m. when the job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him, where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple
Are
days.
you even fun? Do you smile? Are you fun to be around?
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of
The
that.
common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come
It's not so common.
it's not common at all? There's no logic. It's all feelings. I feel like he should just take me as I am. Why would he do that?
He doesn't have to.
He does not have to.
He doesn't
He
have
doesn't
to.
have to.
And it's sometimes
The man you actually want is not interested in your money. The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not what's going to raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women. And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5? After 5 p.m. when the job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him, where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple
Are
days.
you even fun? Do you smile? Are you fun to be around?
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of
The
that.
common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come
It's not so common.
it's not common at all? There's no logic. It's all feelings. I feel like he should just take me as I am. Why would he do that?
He doesn't have to.
He does not have
He doesn't
to.
have
He doesn't
to.
have to.
And it's sometimes
The man you
All right, so let's get into it. Wow. What are we talking about here? Men don't care about the woman's degrees and achievements. Do you agree? Anybody in the chat agree? Hit the like button. We're just getting started. Hit the like button. Do you agree that men don't care? Ladies, do you agree that men don't care about your degrees? You can have more degrees than the thermometer. Your first degree, your PhD, right? I got a PhD. You have to take me like as I am, right? Do you guys agree that men don't care about the woman's degrees and achievement? Welcome, Black Diamond. Welcome. They are right, except feelings change. What happens then, as we have learned? Feelings, emotions are not your mate. I told you. That's what Kevin Samuels taught, that men don't care about degrees. That's what he said, right? That's what he said. Is it really that simple? Hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. Do men care about your degrees, achievements, or not? When I say do men, that means I am automatically about to generalize. It is allowed, as long as we are talking about majority. A lot of people try to act like they're talking about the majority.
Stop the cap.
Usually they're talking about their own feelings when they say that. Just because the guy in one place and everybody's thinking the same way does not mean it's the majority. Is the majority in that room? Yes. So a lot of them, they'll cap all day long, agreeing with each other, validating each
Stop
other.
the cap.
But is it really that simple? Welcome, Binkbe. The question is, Do men care about your degrees, your first degrees, your education level, your PhD, your achievements, your bus check? The men care about our degrees. Bigbe said we all want our partner to be the best of themselves, so I don't agree. Okay. All right, Bigbe is coming with the blaze. She's coming blazing those guns. Love it, love it. Yep. So anybody else have an opinion on this? Let me analyze what they're saying word for word. Let's see. And then we'll take it from there.
Actually want is not interested in your money. The
Men actually not interested in your money. I don't want to nitpick her words. Let's see why.
man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't.
The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Who's you? Sounds like generalization. So I don't know what you is talking about. The two ladies that are sitting with her on the podcast, I think they are dating coaches. So what did they mean? Let's keep going.
Doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not.
Okay, that's not what he's focused on or worried about. When, how, when, in what context? That's not what he's focused on or worried about within what context, right? Because it depends on what context we're talking about. In the grand scheme of things, they want you to be the best version of yourself, right? The best version of yourself might include some degrees, some degrees that has led to some earning power. Yes. It can be very useful in reality because no condition is permanent. Even if he brings all the money to the table, no condition is permanent. But your earning power can be within the family business, can also be, in terms of working a 9 to 5 for other people, as long as you come home and you're still a wife. So what is she talking about? I'm just wondering what context. I'm listening out for the context.
Gonna raise his children.
No, exactly. No. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women.
She said we're taught that our value is in our career and our money. Okay.
And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5?
After
5 p.m. when.
All right. So if you look at the gentleman below on that screen, he's nodding his head. He's like, The problem with these things is that they're not willing to admit that there's an actual context to which they are speaking. On a normal day, if someone fall out of the skies and they have no trauma whatsoever, they haven't collected shege from anybody. If they're coming and they're looking for a wife or their husband, they're looking for the best that the market has to offer. One of the easiest way, as they've just admitted, that people measure that is that, are you educated? Are you high school diploma? Are you secondary school? WAEC? Did you go to college, university, OND, HND, college of education? Did you take you to PhD? The only reason why people are having these conversations, they tend not to bring it up at all. Like, no, we just woke up one day and we started saying that we don't care about degrees.
Stop the cap.
No, waiting happen now. On a normal day, everybody cares about an achievement, including when people say marriage is not an achievement. You know what I mean? What do you mean that marriage is not an achievement? What do you mean that we don't care about the degrees? Tell us the rest of the story. Tell us the rest of, where is the rest of the story? What happened? How did you wake up one day and you suddenly, as a man, say, hey, I don't care if my wife has, I don't care about that PhD that she has. Okay. By the way, we might not be looking for that, right? But generally speaking, we cannot care if you're educated, at least to high school diploma. First degree is not bad, right? It's not really a requirement, right? But guess what? I don't think women necessarily make a requirement unless they've achieved it. And then they kind of like look forward to people in the same socio-economic class. That's default. That's on a normal day. But why would anybody wake up in a normal day and say, I don't care about your degrees? That question needs to be answered in order to make sense of the advice that they are giving. I'm sure it's a fantastic advice, but we need to get to why They started thinking like, you think because you got a degree? Yeah, that attitude, where did it come from? What happened? The rest of the story. Because if we don't address that, that's the root issue. If we don't address that, you will start blaming degrees, and the issue is not the degrees. It's not. These are the problem. The issue is not the degree. The issue is not the fact that she has a PhD. It is not. You need to tell us the rest of the story. Because you open your eye like this and you went and married somebody, or you started dating somebody who has a PhD, and then you come back into the internet and tell everybody that men don't care about PhD. Okay, let me presume that I agree with you. Why? Make your case. Like, what happened there? Why is it that men don't? Why is it that man, that particular man that she's talking about, that they've generalized everybody to become, why is it that particular man, what happened that man stopped caring about the degree? Now, let me go back. Let me take a step back for a second. A man who is looking for a wife, right? It's not like he's looking around looking for a PhD, but he generally will be paying attention within his social circle, right? He generally would hang out around the same caliber of people that he is, right? So if it's a college degree type of person, it might be at networking events, it might be such, believe it or not, certain churches have a bunch of graduates, and other certain types of churches would actually have a bunch of people who never finished high school. Go look, you will see it, generally speaking, right? So he'll be looking within the circle on a normal day. So it's not like it's pinpointed, does he have a PhD? Like it's not. But the point where he gets to where he uses the word, I don't care, right? At that point,
don't care.
Something happened. What happened? We need to address what happened. Something happened. Somebody has collected shege.
Sorry.
They need to tell us the rest of the story. If they want a lasting healing solution, they need to get to the bottom of what happened there. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep going.
The job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him. Where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple days.
Are you even fun? Do you smile? Right. Are you fun to be around?
Do you smile? Ladies, they're talking about you all here. Yes, of course, we want you to smile. Of course. But again, we're talking about the symptoms. We're not addressing the issues. We're not addressing the main issues. We're not even willing to admit that there's an issue first. We're just going to pretend like some people just wake up and they don't like to smile. They just woke up randomly. They just want to show shege to their partners. You can't do that, okay? Well, especially when it's something as simple as a smile, attitude, right? It's simple, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy, obviously, because if it was easy, everybody would just know that, oh, she has an attitude because something else is going on. Let me take my time to find out how I can help. But we're in the social media age where some people's voices are louder, and before you know it, the loud voices are used to generalize the rest of the population. Why is she not smiling? Why does she have an attitude? Is it that just because people from a Efik tribe in Nigeria, they tend to have attitude? Is it really that simple?
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of that.
The common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come?
It's not so common.
It's not common at all. There's no logic.
Now, on the flip side of things, you have all these degrees and they're calling it common sense. I always say common sense driven advices are just terrible guide to life, right? Go and ask PDD. They're just terrible guide, okay? You need a little bit more than common sense. I call it common because most people have it, or at least they claim that they have it, right? That's why I call it common sense, you know? So it's very important that we really address context when you're addressing these issues. I'm asking for context in their conversation. They're not saying anything that's wrong. These ladies are not saying anything that's wrong. I'm asking for context. They're generalizing. If you're generalizing, I have to assume that you're right.
You're right.
Okay. But when I really get interested in the conversation, then I want to ask, where's the rest of the story? What do you mean? In what context? Right? And these are the questions that we need to start asking when it comes to relationship. A lot of people are going to generalize. We do generalize in the church. Okay. If you go into the comment I put on Uncle Bendo's original post, I said they are wrong. I take that back. They are right. Okay.
You're right.
Right. Of course. 9 to 5. How do we enjoy our life? Do you smile? Do you have a nice attitude? No, never mind your PhD. Are you a nice person? Or you're just blunt, rude person? Of course. So they're right. They're right. But I think just generalized advices like, oh, you should love each other. Oh, you should cater to each other. You should buy flowers for each other. Oh, you should go on a date once every week. Like, who am I to ever argue with that? Of course, all those advice are right.
You're right.
All those advices are right. I can't disagree with them. Right? Hopefully you guys are still hearing me. My internet is acting up. I do see your comments. But where's the context? If you want to get to the root of issues in relationships, in life, relationships, and marriage, we need context. We need to personalize it. It needs to be story by story by story, case by case by case. Okay? If a man comes to me and he starts with, my wife is a very well-educated person. She's got a PhD. In fact, she's an engineer at the plant, at Dangote's plant. She's the executive there. I'm waiting for the but, because I don't think those things are the problems. I'm waiting for the but. Now, those things can be an environment to magnify certain problems. Okay? Like, for example, if she has options, if she can make her own money, if she can literally go and get an apartment across the street and not have to deal with the BS. So that environment can expand or magnify certain issues in the direction you like. It's completely up to you. Like, are you aware of how these issues, of these real things, good things, achievements can actually magnify issues? Are you aware of that? Or you're just going to say, no, I was wrong. Don't ever marry a woman who has a PhD. Baba, if this is how you think, you go collect.
Sorry.
It's a blind spot. It's a blind spot that is particularly very popular on the internet today. Many of the advices you're getting are even from dating coaches. Okay, all of them are more interested in growing a platform, so they generalize because they're trying to gather a certain type of people that think only one way. And I can't judge them because there's only so much time they can give you on a public platform. I can only hope that if you do hire any one of them, that they're able to get into the story and tell you that, okay, yeah, she has a PhD, but that's not the root cause. That's not the real issue, you know? Oh yeah, I'm married when I was 19, but that's not the root cause. All right, that can magnify issues if you're married too young, but that's not the real cause. That's not the real root cause of the issues that most people are going through. All right, so can you guys, if you can still hear me, put a 1 in the chat, because my internet is acting up. So I just want to make sure, put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. I'm ready for Brakidola to talk about the house girl of his dreams. Brakidola is listening. He's always listening behind the scenes. That's my brother. I think men care about what comes with the degrees more than the degrees itself. If degrees mean disrespecting men, then of course they won't care. If you have degrees that are not useful again, see? So you see, the point is that we added context. We need some context. All the generalized advice you're gonna get on the internet, ladies, get your own money. Kill mean. If you after you get your own money, call. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things, in the long run, in terms of happiness in life? What does that mean? Does that solve all the problem? I can hear you in your spirit say, of course not. Okay, great. Let's get to the other side of the conversation, right? Because I'm with you so far. Of course you should have your own money. It gives you options. But what else is going on? What else do we need to talk about? Right? So yes, it's very, very true. If you bring it's like a man bringing all the money to the table, but he doesn't know how to treat you. He can provide for days, for generations to come. Eventually, all that provision will become, see, finish will enter. You'll be like, what is it? Range Rover. You bought me Range Rover. But then I feel disgusted every other day because of the way you're treated. Eventually, you're gonna get tired of all the Range Rover, all the money, all the finance, all the stuff, provision, all that. You're gonna be looking for what is missing. Sometimes you'll be looking for what is not missing because you just feel a void. You don't know exactly what it is, right? The point of this conversation is context. Content is no good enough. You need context. You need to make sure that you're, as much as we are gathering all this knowledge about relationships, reading all the books, make sure we're also learning application. Okay. Gigi says, men not interested in money. So why did discuss about 50-50? Omo Atayao. And by the way, an average marriage, if it doesn't start that way, we're getting to the space where they actually need the wife's money to support for a while, even if it's just for a while, sometimes for a long time, before he might even never get back on his feet. So it's a lot of cap in this conversation when it comes to, men just don't care about. No, we care about marriage. It's an achievement. We care about your degrees, ladies. If you have one, it's not like it's a requirement, but we will celebrate it. Of course, we'll celebrate it. The only time that a man can get into a place of stop celebrating it is, again, if he starts to feel feelings. Same thing she was talking about. Feelings. If he starts to feel that you're prideful because of all these achievements, he's going to tag on to those achievements. He would never address the root cause issues, right? In other words, you won't get into a place of healing.
It's all feelings. Yeah. I feel like he should just take.
I feel like here's the reality. We all care about nothing outside of our feelings. Every single one of us. We don't care about anything outside of our feelings. We can camouflage it all we want. We can call it logic. At the end of the day, even when we get logical stuff on paper, we interpret it with our feelings. It's the way it works. Right? So tagging on to, women say, I feel like that should not be a problem. It's your job. If you're trying to lead, it's your job to get to the root of the reason why she feels the way she feels. You should be appreciative that she's actually, he or she, including men, that he or she is actually expressing how they feel and not bringing some fake ass logical stoicism, masculine, misguided points to the table. Human beings, we don't care about anything outside of our feelings. We might pull some logical stuff to the surface. Okay, we're basically just trying to justify our feelings. That's the bottom line. We're just trying to justify our feelings. That's all we're doing. Okay, we can go back into the dictionary. This is what the word means. We can go and do math and come back and say this is what it means. We can do all of that, right? All of that is just trying to justify our feelings. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only time something is wrong with that is when we're not able to acknowledge that. If you're using the idea that you think you're more logical than everybody else, if you're using that to shame the people that you in a relationship that you care about, if you're using that to shame them, to blame them, then of course, you'll collect now.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you basically make them feel unsafe. They won't be able to tell you how they feel. In other words, they will tell you lies the same way you've been telling each other lies. It will just get nastier and nastier and nastier. So, what am I saying? Content is cute. Learning everything there is to learn is cute. We need to get down to the stories. We need case studies. We need to get down to specifics. As I understand, sometimes it's too personal. You don't want to get in there, but as far as you can go, get deep into the stories before you try to apply anybody's ideology to your situation, because it will just backfire. All right. So you keep the thing for mine till now. Marianne isn't finished. That's good evening. Yeah. Hey CB, welcome CB. Education is important, absolutely, right? Until it doesn't produce any good fruit, then it's one of the easiest things for men of nowadays to point fingers at. They will say it's because you're too educated, or because you have your own car, because you have your own house. Those are the easy things to point fingers at now. This is why you see some people advise don't buy a house before you're married. There's a lot of truth to what they're trying to say. Does following that advice create lasting solution? No, it doesn't, because that was never the issue. But because people see things that way, you have to pay attention to it, right? So if you're a single woman and you're about to buy a car, and you're about to buy a house, and you've never been married, just the awareness is all you need, so that you don't overreact when people say that. You understand where they're coming from, right? So the key is to not overreact. So just understand that human beings will generalize. Your own is to not tag onto it and make it about you. Okay, men be like, don't care, still don't care. And then women be like, you're lying. Women don't even do that. As you can see, those ladies, they're actually starting to believe the lies.
Abba, the lie.
We're seeing more and more women believing the lies. So now they're confused. They're like, but I did what you said you wanted. I gave up everything for you. And then it's like, right? The same way, the flip side, men are starting to believe some of the lies that women tell. Like, I wash your pata, I wash your plates, and you're still never happy because you didn't take the time to listen. Good for you. Clap for yourself. You're doing the house chores in your own house. Okay, but that's not all it is. In fact, you probably missed the whole point of why she was complaining in the first place. Lies upon lies. Anyway, women with degrees and are more enlightening and liberated. So all these men have collected. They have Nahid Dusa women, wicked modern women. It's problems. Now, up to, when they say divorce is initiated, 70% of divorces are initiated by the women, right? It's a real statistics, right? And then up to 96% college educated women, right? Again, those are all numbers we can be aware of. If you approach them at a surface level, you'll miss it. You just be like, don't go and marry a college educated woman. You've missed it. The point is a little bit deeper than that, right? A college educated woman is probably not going to tolerate abuse. Okay, but they're also very quick to make a snappy decision off of what they can see without considering the emotions behind the scenes, right? Logical. I'm logical. I got a PhD. They're just thinking logic. Yes, women are thinking logic too, right? So if it doesn't make sense, if he has ever cheated before, if he's not cheating per se, because cheating is of a deeper stuff. We're going to talk about that later on. But if two of my friends said he's a narcissist, they also always include he can never change. So what's the next best decision to make as a college educated woman? Let's just pull the plug. After all, in fact, your friends can afford to sponsor you through your next 6 months of your apartment. Just pull the plug. Call it a day. It can be a very confusing thing. Again, that's why sometimes they have enough information to do that. Most of the times they don't. It's generalizations, right? So It just depends, case by case by case. Yes, in spite of the statistics, we got to take it case by case by case. Not jump out there because you are quote unquote logical, because you have all the degrees in the world. Some of the people that are struggling with marriage today, not some, most of them that are struggling with marriage today are very smart, intelligent, high degree, high PhD engineers, high tech, doctors, lawyers. They're these people, okay? And they struggle because, as far as they can see, they're like, I've done all the math, I've done everything, and they don't understand what's going on. I can usually point the fingers at, generalizations. Okay. There are men who want a woman who can have intelligent conversations in public. All men want that until, okay, all men want that until they have collected shege.
Sorry.
So it's the shege that we need to be addressing, that we need to be talking about. What shege exactly? We don't know what shege until we start hearing those stories. I do have a super story for you today. The world like lies now. Tax stats of various nations makes us know they have to hoard. They have no money. Some women will just say they play. Yeah, because again, they have options. And the options are real, and the options, yes, will influence certain decisions at a macro level across the board. All right. Exactly. Who can carry a certain decorum when they are with their woman in public and not be nervous about the next thing? You see, here's the issue. Sometimes men would just be in a situation where they're trying to say, baby, this is how you do it. And the woman's like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Because the woman is also intelligent, and he's probably seen the blind spot. If he's been listening to a few people, or he's been brought up in a way to think that, hey, if a woman is too smart, it's a negative thing, he's going to yield. He's not even going to listen to you anymore. He's just going to yield direct. He's just going to go in that direction and say, I knew it. She's just prideful. She's disrespectful. When most men that say a woman is disrespectful are literally speaking from their place of emotion. Okay. Now, that's not to mean that she's been conducting herself a certain way. But oftentimes, the way he reacts to anything that smells like disrespect breeds more disrespect, or what he might perceive as disrespect. Like everybody just doubles down in the direction that they're thinking, right? So, as intelligent as you can see, decorum, the problem is when you find yourself in crisis. Is the context I'm looking for. What happened? Why are we talking about this? That's the real issue. On a normal day, most men will exactly like what Chinya is saying or replying to CB, right? They want to be able to, a woman who is very smart. I was at an event yesterday where Ngozi, what's her name? Okojewela, right? The Director General of World Trade Organization. She got standing ovation. And there were presidents in that room that did not get that same standing ovation yesterday in New York City. That's a woman, highly accomplished woman. Now, the question is, the issue, you can't really compare that to an average woman because, first of all, we don't know what's going on in her home, right? I know she's married or so, right? Second of all, we don't know how much skill she has when it comes to our home front, right? Third of all, she's not your average woman. It's irresponsible to make that comparison on any given day. I see men say, what about people like Ibuku Awoshika? All these people are all good women and they are educated. Why don't you be like them? These are all the wrong comparisons. These are not your average woman. On a normal day, you should never compare your partner to other people. You should listen to them. They are the best to teach you how to seduce them. Your partner is the best person to teach you how to seduce them. I didn't say I didn't say the evil woman or the woman that's supposed to get out of your house. I'm talking about your partner. They are the best person to teach you how to seduce them. How?
How, Sway?
Active listening. Are you going to get caught up in your emotion first, or take your time to listen to what they're trying to say? Not what they say, but what they're trying to say. Are you going to be patient enough to do that? It's difficult, especially if you're just getting started, especially if there's been already damages in your relationship, especially when you're very smart, intelligent, you can see beyond that's common sense. She should just know better. If that's how you think, you go collect. I said you go collect. So it's basically if you are smart, intelligent people across the board, it's a need to humble yourself. It's a need to apply humility, right? It's across the board. It's not gender-based. The need to, while you can, you know where that person is going already, you want to attack them right back. They give you a jab, you want to give them a left hook, right? You can't wait because you already feel like you know where they're going. So it's super difficult to say, you know what? I'm here today for a reason. Okay. I'm in this relationship. I'm still in this relationship with this person. There's something I need to figure out. At least there is something I need to figure out. That's that moment of epiphany. Like, no, I know everything there is to know in this world. I'm a very smart, intelligent, degree, high PhD person, but I have not taken the time to listen long enough to my partner. Y'all feel me? So, let me see. Let me just read a little bit of chat, then we'll move on to the next segment here. She's been married for years and her husband has been there supporting her during her entire career. Sound like Madam Ngozi, right? Madam Ngozi is married and happy. Her husband is not in competition with her. Good point. Exactly. Let's see. CB, I never want to be a man. Being a woman is so late. That's exactly how I feel about being a man. Me and you on the same page. Black Diamond. Marriott, I understand you, but that's why women have the choice to pick a man with masculine traits. I speak more about us because I've never been a man. All right. MOP, I'm not trekking, just keep because a boy feels insecure. I'm not you mean settling? What's trekking? Is that an English word that I missed? Yes. Because a boy feels insecure. If that's how you feel about him, there's only one solution.
He shock you.
Leave him alone. Cut him loose. To the rest, trust me, somebody else might find that useful. Just cut him loose because you guys will not serve each other. You know? All these standards for women, Black Diamond, but men just exist. Men don't just exist, though. But you know, I as usual, I'm not gonna start talking about the plight of men unless we're talking about that. Men don't just exist; they struggle everywhere. That's why there's already default balance. It's already fair. Stop looking for fairness. If I can stay in my feminine aura, I'm out. Beautiful. Love that. A boss in the boardroom, a bee in the bedroom, and a lady in society. Love that. So men are the reason why we have masculine men. You mean women these days? Well, a man is not. You can't do that to yourself. Well, if you meant to say women, right? If you meant to say that, this statement is a fantastic way to shoot yourself on the legs. You're giving the power away. Don't do that, ladies. Don't do that. Never ever. You see, when you said this sounds more better to me. Like, especially if you had, I'm walking away. walking away and meaning it, because a lot of women will walk away and come back and walk away and come back and confused. That's not a place of power, right? But when you use this statement right here, this statement, let me see if I can find it again though. If you say a man is the reason why you're masculine, even it can be true on paper, mindset wise, don't do that, right? Don't do that. If you find yourself being masculine, take accountability, change your environment, okay? Back off, take some 3, 4, 5, 6 steps backwards from that situation. Do yourself that favor. At least you can see clearly when you back off. You can take a step back. You see clearly. You see a lot better clearly. You know, very, very important. CB said pride is normal. I missed that context. Pride. If I were to generalize, yes, pride is pretty normal. We all have pride. We all have all these different traits that are double-edged sword. They can cut both ways. They can destroy us. They can also build. CB, you are a point, a boss in the boardroom, a bee in the bedroom. Are most couples retiring on one person's income in 2024 in the abroad? It depends. That's it's a very general question, all right? Because what is the one person income we're talking about? Now, you did say most couples, right? You did say most couples, but even at that, it doesn't have to be both income. It depends on how you see that, right? So, for example, if let me give you an example, right? Context always matters, right? If one person is bringing in $150,000 per year, right, and the other person is, they chose to have 3, 4 kids, right, and the other person is maintaining that front, and they've made it a point to make sure that all of their expenses, they live in an environment where all their expenses are under 50%. Oh yeah, absolutely, they can retire on that. But when you say most, I'm not sure where you're getting at with that. Maybe a financial advisor can pull up some numbers and say you're better off both of you working. But oftentimes we've seen both people working, and then they also raise kids that nobody was monitoring. There's too many nuances, too many variables to it, But I would say most couples are actually probably retiring with not enough money to retire. If I really want to go into that conversation, they don't have most, I have a Macy's right next to me. Macy's is a departmental store, and you see old people in their 65, 70, people that actually had decent careers. They are going there they have Social Security, but they are going there to supplement the income to pay for the environment that we live in. Things are very expensive. So there's just so much that goes into that, that we can start to agree, disagree on, and all that kind of stuff, She said, the context is lost. Oh, you're right. Yeah, so I missed it. We need care and attention. I like my man to listen to me. It's a turn on. I think most women agree with you, I think most women will agree with that. Just keep in mind that men also like to have a woman who is understanding. Just keep that at the back of your mind. But let's go with that. You meant masculine women. Yes. All right, so let's do me a favor. Men don't care about a woman's degrees or achievements. If you say that's true, put a 1 in the chat. If you say that's false, put a 2 in the chat. Let me see it. 1, true. 2 in the chat, false. If you think that's false, put a 2. Based off of our discussion today, do you think that's true? Put a 1. Think that's false? Put a 1 in the chat. I'd like to know what you think, because I added quite a bit of context today, hopefully, or at least I asked questions. What is the context, right? So I think it was more so I was asking, what is the context? I said they are right by default, but what is the context, right? I see Chinya says 2, false. 2, Chidima, false. GG, and that's coming from a man. Okay, and Black Diamond said 3, I'm in between. Okay, I get that, because on a normal day, men would like to talk to somebody who is as smart as they can get until they start collecting shege. and then start listening to the wrong crews. Are like, wait, your woman has PhD? Is that why she's so proud? It might even be his sister that would say that's why she thinks she's read everything in the world. She has a PhD in engineering, so she thinks she's better than everybody, huh? Anyway, now know for our house. So the reason why people are questioning if marriage, if degrees, if achievements are achievements is because they have collected shege.
Sorry.
Sometimes secondhand shege. So it's not always direct. They might have heard too many stories of people who achieve these things and they turn out to be nothing, you know. So hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's get into some of the next story. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. This next story, we're going to be talking about Samuel L. Jackson and some secrets. Yeah. Let's talk about it. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.